Happy Wednesday, crafty friends. Look who's here. It's the Steins. And I have to admit, I finished them. You know, okay, so I rearranged my craft room. And the stand that I have for my iPad, it I had to move it. I know you can't see it, but it has, in order for it to be heavy duty enough to hold my iPad up, what I was using has like a big base on it. The problem was the neck on it wasn't long enough, so I had to set it on something, and then every inch is I have to have in here. So once I rearranged, that just wasn't working for me. So it's actually sitting on my desk right now. But hubby, uh, he came in here with me last night, and we tried to figure out a way to make it work. And we tried several different things, and it just wasn't. I could never get it to be the right height. So, he ordered me another one that will clamp onto my desk. That's supposed to be heavy duty enough to hold my iPad. So, and it's supposed to be here today. So then I'll have this part of my desk free again for stuff. You know, because it's hard if you're just working on this little area here. It is for me anyway, because I've been used to working on all that area. So anyway, this is Mr. and Mrs. Stein from the Dollar Tree, and they're all finished. And y'all, these are so much fun, and they're really so. I mean, I think anybody could do it. And I hear y'all out there. I can't paint. I can't. Okay, you can color. I know you can. And it's really not that big a deal. And Frank's face is so wrinkled anyway. Anywhere you put a black line, it's gonna be fine. And the eyes are nothing. Paint it white. Paint you a semicircle of the color of the iris. Paint you another one of the black. You know, and then 2 dots. It's done. It's not hard. It's not. And then I did water down some black and go in for a little bit of darkness around the whites, but that's easy. That's an easy peasy fix. You know, y'all can do this. I want to see if you've bought one of these, what you end up doing with them, because I love them. I think they're so much fun. And I was looking at some pictures of Frankenstein, so I could, get a reference on how wrinkled he is actually supposed to be. And I guess it's a poster. But anyway, instead of being done in green, he's like in all kinds of neon colors. So like black light colors, I think is what it was. So wouldn't that be cool? And wouldn't this be cool if I painted over it with some glow in the dark? Woo! So anyway, there they are. I absolutely love them. That was definitely $2 worth my entertainment. So now we're going to go on to Tag Along With Us, hosted by Martha Hamilton and Annie Creates. And so today I'm going to make these little fellas into a Mr. and Mrs. Skeleton, Mr. Bones. Huh. Okay, so this is actually, it's double-sided already, but it's not as thick as I would like it for a tag. So, and there's, like, that's identical, but if you turn it this way, it's like a mirror image. So I'm going to back it on some 110, and I'm hoping, because I really, instead of poking a hole right here, I wanted to, and that's, I'm going to have to poke a hole, because I can see that's going to drive me crazy. I was actually just going to put a loop in between the 110 and it, but, I mean, with her, I'm going to cover it up. But I can't cover it on one, not on the other, because, So, anyway, the first thing we're going to do is glue these down. Because we can glue them down and then cut them out and it'll be one and done. So I'll try to get as close to the edge as I can without glooping over. And just put that down there. And I've been having so much fun playing along with them and making tags. And, you know, it's Halloween, so, you know, that's what I have to do. But I'm in a lot of collabs, so I'll be able to use these also when I send goodies. So, you know, it's awesome. And if I decide not to, they'll just hang around. Okay. Got that one a little outside the lines, but that's okay. Because I'm going to cut it out anyway. Now then, I got my hot glue gun on over here. I probably should have glued this first and then yammered about the steins, but I didn't. Oh, I'm so excited about this new camera stand because I can hook it to my table and then I can configure it and it can go up and down. That was another thing, was that while most times I would like for it to be in the same position, you know, there are times when you have to get higher. Like if I'm making a 3D project, it just won't fit under. And Ronnie says, how high does it have to be? I said 17 inches. He said, well, I didn't know you were already going to have that down. I said, yeah, it has to be 17 inches. That's the perfect height from my desk to the camera when I'm videoing, because it encompasses my whole glass mat. And that's, you know, that's my work surface. So, there's that. It was so foggy here this morning. And we're supposed to be getting a whole lot of rain. But right now, it's just kind of gloomy out there. Oh, let me update you on Mona, our little wiener dog. Because I told you yesterday that I was taking her to the vet. And that I wasn't real happy because I had told them in the first place it was her toe. And they said it wasn't. It was her knee. And it was time to take her back. And I was looking at her foot. And I looked at that toe. And that pad was puffed up, and the nail is still crazy on that toe. So anyway, I took her in and I saw a different vet this time, and this vet is the one that did the surgery on Tiny when he had that huge lipoma. So I trust her. I mean, I know how good she was with him, and how she requested that she be the one to take out his stitches, and that, you know, she was the one that did all the checking on him. And so, you know, it kind of made me feel like she, you know, he wasn't just another dog, and, you know, she actually cared. So that impressed me. And then, I mean, you would never know that little dog had a huge lipoma on him where he was limping. So she did a great job. So anyway, back to Tiny. Mona. So she looks at her toe and she says, yes, it is her toe, and I know that this is not something you probably want to hear, because none of us want to hear about our babies getting old. She said, but we take so much better care of our animals now that we see things now happening with him that we didn't used to see. And she said it could be that it's inflamed and there's an infection, but and she said, and we'll treat it like that for 2 weeks. We'll put her on 2 good antibiotics and an anti-inflammatory and see what happens. But she said a lot of times it's a tumor in their toe. Okay, well, you can't feel it. If it's in her toe, it's like inside, causing inflammation out. It's not visible, is what I'm saying. And it, like it's not bleeding or weeping, and she's not messing with it, but she won't run on it. She walks on it, but she won't run on it. And she was not walking on it at all until we got her the anti-inflammatories. So, anyway, the C word, maybe. But I'm going to hope and pray that it's not, because I know that once before she lost that toenail. And what had happened, she sleeps in a crate. And if y'all have ever had a dachshund, you know, they run at the speed of sound, especially if the sound is food. Anyway, she got her toe hung in the front of the crate, that toenail, and it hung, you know, and she kept going, and it actually broke completely off, and I didn't feel like it would ever grow back, but it did. But okay, so say these are her toes, so it's standing, the others are curled down, and it's like this. And the pad is swollen now. So, I mean, there's no doubt that something's wrong, you know. I'm just hoping and praying. And then, you know, I was wondering, well, do dogs get ingrown toenails? Could there be damage where she broke it from before, and now, because it's growing up, you know, is she hanging it on stuff, and is it constantly getting irritated? I don't know. You know, you try to solve the problem. And I'm not a vet, so I really can't. But, okay, so then she said, let me get my crocodile over here. Oh, my lanta. Okay, so that needs a little work in that organization over there. That was a little too hard to get out. Okay, she said that, if it is cancer, what we usually see is that it is just in the toe bone. And there's like the end of the toe, the middle of the bone, and then where it hooks onto their foot is the way I understand it. And that they just amputate that part of it. And she said, and they're fine. And she said that she had just done it recently to a big dog, and that he was fine. He was running around, you know, like nothing ever happened. Now, do I want my dog to lose her toe? No. But at least that was comforting, you know. And it also, you know, it makes you think when a doctor says, you know, it's like us. The older we get, the greater chances we have of getting cancer or something. That's kind of a thud to the heart. But, you know, reality, I know. So, then the question is, so before, you know, dogs ran loose and they got hit by cars and they didn't get cancer, or their diet wasn't good. I mean, but they got other things. So if we can take so much better care of them, why can't we? Why isn't there some way we can keep anybody from getting cancer? That's my bottom line. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Just yammering. Bestie's watching the Grannies. That's why she's not on here. She goes to the doctor on Friday. Finally, after all this time. She's going to the pulmonologist to see about her oxygen and why, since she's had COVID, it's not bouncing back. And then she goes the next week for a EKG and let's see, something else. Oh, a stress test. So she's got doctor appointments all over the place next week. So now, since I covered the back of this, it will serve two purposes. It made it a little thicker, and I can also write on it with either a white pen or a gold pen, you know. Isn't he the dapper fellow? So, I hope y'all are getting to craft some today. Yesterday, felt like I did get to paint, you know, the sign some, but I was also going to the vet and picking the kids up and doing homework. A lot of other things. So this time is so important for me. And I told my hubby this morning, I said, I'm so thankful that you are so supportive of my crafting addiction. He said, well, it makes you happy. And I know life is good if you're happy. So there you go. Thanks to the hubs. Okay, so now I got me two cute little, a skilly pair. And you know, you could hang those. You could put them in a wreath. You could, I mean, I will use them for a tag, but then they could be repurposed for something else. So, oh, and I didn't say, I made these flowers last year. This one is actually made from foam that I heated. And this is paper. And these were individual petals that I got at Hobby Lobby last year, I think, in a big tube. They were Prima petals. And I just put them together. And I love this Harlequin print, that leaf. But anyway, and then I had these variegated beads from BB Craft probably. So I'll put that in there, and I use stamens in this one. And this one doesn't have anything because I scrunched it together. So, there you go. So, this is Tag Along With Us, hosted by Martha, Miss Martha from Granny's house, and Annie from Annie Creates. And I will link them in the description box. And y'all go check them out. And check out the hashtag and see what kind of tags everybody else is creating. There have been some, and I have met some new friends like this. So that's what I always love about a collab is, you know, all kinds of people join, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know them. And then, oh, they make the coolest stuff. And then, you know, that's what this community is all about. So y'all check them out, and we will talk to you soon. Love you guys. Blessings.